Afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining today's training. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me clearly and everybody can see my screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, it looks like there's a few more people joining in. Let's just give it a couple more minutes just for them to join. Okay, perfect. Looks like everybody has joined. Okay, so today's training is based on automations and alerts. So what Palladium's alerts offer and what they can do. I know I've done this training previously and we've done it before. So today we're going to be creating an alert from scratch, connecting the database and basically going through the whole process from start to finish. I won't be explaining where everything goes and does. I'm just going to be going through the process from start to finish on how to add and create the first or a basic alert. Okay. So let's start off. So in this case, we have everything sorted out. We have an alerts, we have our registration, we've logged in, and now we want to make sure that on the information we're bringing. Okay, again, we're going to be using new orders as an example. So whenever an alert is created, it's bringing in certain information from Palladium. This information is brought by a view. So we'll first create a new view. And I'm looking for sales orders. It does take a bit of practice here and there to learn all the fields of Palladium, but eventually you'll have it. And we'll also have the customers. Okay, so this just means that we're trying to bring in information from the sales orders and the customers. So we want to make sure that the order doc, customer, and we want to just get the user that then processed the document. So here it pulls out information that says that, okay, we have our sales order, we have our customer name on which the sales order is coming from, and the user that did it. We don't want any other information, let's say besides the subtotal. We'll add the subtotal as well. Okay, so now on a daily basis, this will then run and bring up all the information on all the sales orders with their order ID, their customer, the user that did it, and the amount that the sales order is for. Okay, this will be for sales orders and quotes, you can see here. And then obviously, if you're a bit more knowledgeable, this can be changed into whatever you want from Palladium. We're just using sales orders as an example. So once you have all your sales orders bringing up and you have the information you need, you can save this. We call it new doc OD. Great. So now we have our view, which is over here, and it's created to bring out the information. Next, we create our query. This means we're fetching the information. So we'll come into our database and we'll create a new query. And we'll just select all from our new field. You can then see it brings out the information. We'll just change this to bring just to specify the fields. Yeah. So then here is our query. So this just means that we're fetching the information. Since we have this, basically the Palladium alerts difficult piece is now over. This is the only difficult piece that you'll ever have with the alerts, is basically finding and creating the information you want to use. From here, it's an easy process. So let's log in. Now we've logged into our Palladium alerts user, and let's set up the connection details we want to use. So we'll first go to our defaults. We'll add in our new data source. So the data source name, the server, the database name, username, and the password. Then test out the connection. Just be sure that you have the port number as well. Okay, after the connection is successful, you can click on save. You'll then see we have on our alerts, our new data source has been added. We can then move on to add our query. So we'll go to the alerts. We'll then add new query. The process name, which would be the sales orders. Sales orders processed. Sales orders comment. We won't be using a report for today, and we'll have it as a label. We'll then click on save and next. It will run on a daily basis, every day towards the end of the day. Every day. Start, we're not going to stop it. So we'll have our start running date, and stop date won't be anything because we're not going to stop it. We'll then say save and add step. After you've saved and added a step, it will take you to a new screen. This new screen is basically where we would add our first step, which is step 1, our data. So we'll click on data source. Description is to fetch our data, and the condition is that we want to see all the new records on a daily basis. We'll enable it and click on save. It will then save this piece. You'll then click and go to your data source that we've added, our alerts test JP. Double test the connection. And then you'll see that there is a query here at the bottom. This query is the same query that's used to gather our information. So if I copy this and add the query over here and click on verify query, you can then see it tries to gather the information that was made. You can then use specific aliases or keywords. You can change it if needs be. Instead of saying strorder.et, it can just be order ID. Okay. Now that the test connection is successful, it will only show the first 5 just for testing purposes. We can then save, and it will take us back to our alerts page. So this is our sales orders processed, and we've added in our step 1. Next is that we want to receive our alert. So then we'll add in our step 2, which is the email. We click on add new step. This is step 2, email. We'll enable it and click on save. We'll then use our default settings that's been added into our defaults. The to email address. And if there's a message, hi, this is your alert. We'll say save and say save again. Your document is basically then completed. You can then click on save. We'll go back to our document and let's just click on edit, quickly on our document, our alert. And we've now made sure that our step 1, our database, has come in and we've received our data. Next is the email. So let's quickly run this, this alert manually. And let's just give it some time. Right now, it's busy fetching up all the sales orders information. So everything that is currently that the alert hasn't read or picked up, it's going to then send me based off of that. So in this case, we might actually receive all of this, but the next time we'll only receive the new ones. So it looks like we received an email. So it says here, hi, this is your alert. Then it will give up all the sales orders that you provided that was in that query. But now we set the alert to be new. So if we go here to our database and go to actions, this is set to new records. So now, if I have to try and process the same alert, it won't send me anything because it can't find any new information. But if I open up Palladium and I create a new sales order, it'll create it for Gary College. And it's going to be for 1,500 Rand. We'll then record the document. Close this. We'll go back to our alert. Usually it would be running daily. We'll manually execute it again. It's been manually executed. And there you can see it sent me the alert for the sales order 13 for 1,500. Great, and that would be our alert setup. We created the information that we needed. We extracted the information with certain tables and fields. Then we then added it to our default connections, created the alert for when and where to send it to, and then we executed manually just to test to make sure everything works out. So If you have any questions, please do so. You can type out, or if you'd like to unmute, you can do so. Again, I don't see any questions coming in. That's perfectly fine. That just means that everybody's understanding, or if they don't have it, if they're not too sure on the question that they want to ask. So if you do require any more information, you're more than welcome just to send me an email for the alerts. And if you'd like to subscribe to the alerts, you can also send me an email, or you can contact the sales department. Let me put my email address in case you need anything. So that would be the email address that's used.
Hi, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to find out, how do I set up, is it there was some way I set up alerts on my machine, so that maybe if I want to send alerts to my clients, or
if you'd like to send it to your clients,
yes,
that's not a problem either. Let me show you that quickly. So under the email, there's an option here that says the to option, which you can change to a specific field. So that means that if I go to my alerts and I added in my customer's email address, for example, so now it has the email address. I can save this. Add it here, so it shows up as the email. We'll then edit our alert quickly. Verify. It now brings out the email, the STR email here, and we'll save it. Okay, save it. And now when we go to our email section and we want to send it to an email, instead of adding in a specific email, we can click on the ellipse and say STR email. This means that it will send it to each line that has a specific email. Obviously, if it's a blank email address, then it won't send the email. But if your clients have email addresses that you'd like to send open orders or something about it, you then send it to that specific email and you split the document by email, which means it will only send the information that's linked to the same email address. Go and save. I can't test it out now, otherwise I won't be getting other email addresses. It will be the clients. Is that what you were looking for, Cornelia?
hello.
Yes, can you? Did
I
that
think I
answer
was
your question?
okay. I was having a challenge with my mic. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I also wanted to ask, is there any other interface whereby I can set up the emails and other setup besides SQL?
No, unfortunately not. Palladium uses SQL only.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, great. Then I don't see any other questions coming in. It's not a problem. Then we can end off the training here. Again, if you'd like a recording of the session, feel free just to send an email to support@palladium.co.za just to request the day's session and which one you're looking for. Thank you everybody for joining today's session. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day and travels home safely. Thank you. Bye.